Is this happening to you? If that is happening to you, then it's a good thing that you came across this video, because in this video, I'll be explaining the basics in the combat in Dragon Ball Nexus. In the description, I have listed timestamps for this video. Now, enough yapping, let's get started. Now, let's start off with the basics, which are the controls. So, I'll be teaching you every single basic control that you need to know, basically every single control, and I hope you find this useful, the controls. So, let's start off with flying. So to fly, you need to hold space. Hold space, just hold it, and you'll just ascend. To descend, hold control, and to completely stop flying, press Alt. That's how you do it. So, to double jump, just double tap spacebar. Double tap spacebar to double jump. To emote, you just gotta do /E meditates. There's multiple emotes. They are pinned in the Discord server and general chat. Most of the emotes. So to key sense, which is really important, you hold Q, and you will see people. These two are my friends. I'm key sensing, so I can see their aura basically. So this guy, he's an evil character, so he gets purple aura. So yeah. To now while flying, we'll go back to flying. So I told you to hold space. To do a super flight, you just hold space and move. Now remember, this takes away your key, so make sure not to, pay attention basically. So to do a dash while flying, you just gotta press shift once. Just press it. It's not really useful, honestly. Nobody really uses this. It's just kind of fun to use. But yeah, to do a slow flight, I call it, is just hold space and then just stop holding it. Like, hold space for like 1 second and then stop holding it and then just move. It's a slow flight. Turns into a slow flight. So yeah. Now, to transform, there's two types of transformations. One is a quick selection and one is manual. So manual is you hold H, you choose the form that you want, basically Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan Blue. Now I'll choose Super Saiyan 1. And then after you click it, you press G. So yeah. To turn off your aura while in transformation, press P. It's the same thing to reactivate it. To de-transform, press X. That's how you de-transform. Now, the quick selection, which is basically used by everyone, nobody really uses this anymore. To do quick selection is you press V and select the form that you want to use. So I'll select Super Saiyan 2. And then you gotta press G after enabling it. So I'll select Super Saiyan Blue and then G. So yeah. Now to do long transformation cutscenes, it's you have to hold G. So this is Super Saiyan 1 long transformation cutscene. Hold the button G. That's the Super Saiyan 1 transformation, long transformation. It's the cutscene. So yeah. Not every transformation has a cutscene, by the way. So yeah. Now, Uh, let me teach you something else. Um, yeah, I told you how to key sense by holding Q. To instant transmission, only some characters have this, like Vegito, Gogeta, Goku, and those characters. Not every character has it. Like Vegeta doesn't. That doesn't make sense. It's canon. So like, Trunks doesn't have it, or Vegeta and stuff like that. To instant transmission, you hold Q and then click on a player. That's how you instant transmission. And last thing, before we move on to the combat section, to log on, you press middle mouse button. Middle mouse button on the person you want to log onto. And to log onto a different person, you scroll. You scroll up or down. So yeah. That is basically everything for the controls. Alright, so now we're on the combat section. So the combat section is really important for you to know so you don't get cooked during PvP. So just listen up well. Let's start with M1 strings. So what M1 strings are, it's basically just M1, M2, M1, M2. They're M1 strings. They are your strings to combo. They're a good combo starter and mid combos as well. They're good for everything. You use them for combos, that's all. You can also gut punch. What this does, it stuns your enemy, so you have more time to combo them, so they don't shockwave or anything. M1 strings, they every character has a different M1 string. For example, Vegito does this, hit does that. So for example, if your main is Goku, you should go in game and test out the M1 strings by just spamming M1, M2 and get used to them. So I haven't told you how to gut punch. So to gut punch, you do, before you finish off your M1, you press M2. So like it's, I think, around 5 M1s or 4, and then press M2. Alright, so step vanishing. Step vanishing is really important for PvP. It's good for iframes and stuff. To step vanish, you spam E. You don't have to spam it though, but it's good for iframes and to dodge your enemies, or to dodge beams. For example, if someone can do a beam real quick. See, it has a iframe. He wasn't able to hit me. It has a good iframe. Do not spam it. You're gonna get cooked if you spam it though. So yeah. Now, this another important aspect for PvP is slow flight, because in game I see a lot of people just use super flight. Now, to slow flight, you just click space once and move. It's really good to trick your enemy. You should mix both super flight and slow flight. It's really good. It's just gonna trick your enemy if you use both. So for example, if you're far away, use super flight. If you're close, use slow flight. No, shockwaving. Shockwaving is really good because if you don't shockwave, you're really obviously gonna get cooked in a combo. So if you can hit me, just combo me. What I did there is a key shockwave. You see how my key went from max to almost 0? You press C to do it. When you're being comboed, you just press C. There's 2 types of shockwaves. One is a health shockwave, and one is a key shockwave. What I just did. Health shockwave, to do it, you press C plus S. So hit me. See, it took away a little bit of my HP. It takes away about 5%. Uh, that's a health shockwave. So C plus S for health shockwave and just C for key shockwave. Alright. Now, perfect blocking. So, perfect blocking. If you don't know how to block, you press R. You hold R or F. And to perfect block, you gotta time it right before they attack you. So, it's gonna be hard to do it. So yeah, you just have to time it. And your enemy will just simply stun. Your enemy will simply stun, and you'll have a combo potential. Now, another version of perfect blocking is basically Z countering. What it is, it's basically you vanish behind your enemy and you launch them. So to Z counter, you gotta hold R and then press M2 on time. Now make sure that you don't do it wrong, because if you mess it up, you won't be able to block and your enemy will be able to combo you. So don't mess it up, you gotta time it correctly. Now, Z counter, someone can counter a Z counter. Like if you Z counter someone, they'll be able to counter you back. So hit me. So yeah, I kinda messed up, but yeah. After you do 4 Z counters, after you counter each other 4 times, it turns into a clash. What the clash is this. So that's the clash. So yeah. Now, when you're getting launched, so can someone launch me real quick? You spam R, spam it. You spam the button R to be able to stand up again. You spam it as fast as you can. If you want to stand up again really quickly, just spam R with 2 fingers, with both of your hands. I'm not really fast at it, but you can try. So yeah. Now, we're gonna move on to key blasting. So to key blast, you press M2. Now, make sure not to use it too much, because it takes away some of your key, and that's bad. So yeah. To key blast deflect, it's just this. To do it, you need to hold R or F, so basically block, and press A or D. I can't do it for some reason. Oh, there we go. A and D. Just mash them. Mash it. Gotta mash those 2 buttons. So yeah. Now, if you don't know how to charge, I already said it in the control section, but you need to know this. You hold Z. That's how you charge. By holding Z. Alright, so now we're on the final section of the basic guide, beginner guide. So I'm gonna be showing you all the clash and explaining what to do in them. Basically the rules of each clash. So let's start off with a random clash. Let's see what it is. So now this one is button mashing. It's pretty self-explanatory. You mash the button that it says on screen. So right there it said Q. So I have to mash Q. So that's the mash clash. Now, another clash. The vanishing clash. basically, you gotta wait for the yellow circle. You gotta wait for the yellow circle to reach the button, and then you press it. You gotta time it correctly. So, for example, if it's the Q and the yellow circle is closing in, when it's fully closed in, you press Q, and it'll do it. It's hard, but you'll learn it and you'll get used to it eventually. So yeah. Now, this was we got the same clash again, Mash. Now, this one is the hardest clash. So, it's called the Warping Punches Clash, and you have to press A and D when they reach the circle. The little it's like a cursor or something. It's like a circle that looks like the lock-on circle. You gotta wait until these A or D reaches it, and then you press it. You gotta do it on time, and the one that does the most, basically wins. Personally call it Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah. So yeah, that's the hardest clash. Now, the last clash that we haven't gotten yet, or second last. Come on. There we go. Now, this clash, I don't even know what it's called. It's just holding each other clash. Making love clash, basically. It's only one button. You gotta wait. It's basically the same as the warping clash. You gotta wait until the yellow circle reaches the little, the letter. For example, it's Q, W, or E. Those are the random letters that will pop up. And when it reaches it, you press it on time, and if you do it correctly, you'll win. Or if both of you do it correctly, it's gonna be a tie. So yeah. Now, for the final clash, it's gonna be a beam clash. These are the most fun clashes, but it always ends up in a tie, honestly. So you just mash the button Z. That's all you do. I'm not gonna mash it now. Show you what happens if you lose. That's what happens. It's a fun clash, but it barely does any damage if you win, and it always ends up in a tie. So yeah. So that was every clash, and I hope you found this video good and understandable. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you've learned everything that you need to know to get good. Now you can create any combos that you want, etc, etc. If you want to learn more about the combat, you can go check out the Trello, which is linked in game and server link in the Dragon Ball Nexus Discord server. You can find it there. You'll find out every single control and every single character, everything. It has basically everything that you need to know. I hope you found this video enjoyable and understandable. Now, enjoy this 1v1, and Aura out.